I'll kind of do an impromptu review right now. We'll just see how it goes. It'll be really quick. It's not going to be extremely detailed, but it'll just give you a brief idea. What this tent is, it's called the Zephyr 2, and it's made by Alps Mountaineering. And this particular tent is a two-man tent. It has two vestibules, one out here, and you can see, here's a lot of my brother's stuff right here, and then the other vestibule where it's still closed, and I've got my gear out here. So that's going to be extremely important, because there's no way that gear is going to fit inside the tent with two people. I found this is stretched on me right here, but what happens is I used to put my Glock 23 up here, and it was just too heavy for it, so that was my fault. But what I can do is just kind of fold this over right here and sew it up, and then I'll tighten that up and create more of the pocket that it's intended to be. The airflow through this one is great because you've got all this mesh. I mean, the whole thing is almost mesh. The one thing I don't like is, and see, that's supposed to be the airflow with the rain cover on, and it doesn't work very well. It's kind of small, and then you've got this on the other side. So I think they could have, here's my hand for kind of a bit of comparison. I think they could have made it bigger, but it's okay. I mean, you still get some airflow too under the vestibules, so it's not bad. And I've been in really inclement weather several times with this tent, and it's really stood up well.
See it.
So I did find there is one leak. Everything's taped, all the seams are taped, but I did find one leak when I first used it. And what's weird about it is, honestly, it hasn't happened again. So I don't know if maybe some of the tape had just not got on there right, and now it is. I don't know, but it seemed to have gone away. I haven't noticed it since. The construction here is, one thing I specifically look for are these type of attachments for the poles, because it's just a quicker setup. Now you do have this insert right here, but it only spans maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and so that's not bad. I can handle that. This just adds for a quicker setup. And then you've got the Velcro in here that it takes the rainfly and attaches it to the poles. You've got some Velcro here, and you've got them interspersed. I actually very rarely use those, but they do make for a nicer setup, so I thought I'd just put them up last night, just so you guys could kind of get an idea. And that's about it on the inside. So maybe I'll take you out on the outside and show you that real quick. Oh, one thing with this netting on the inside, I've always wondered how it's going to hold up over time. So far, so good. What I have noticed, though, is you kind of see it right here. Hopefully you can see it in camera. See how that netting's starting to kind of bunch up together. Now that doesn't bother me as long as it doesn't rip. But I don't have any holes in it yet. You do have a small pocket here for storage if you want it. That's in the front of the tent. And just to give you kind of an idea of what we've got going on here gear-wise, I mean, I've got my pants and some other stuff right here in the corner, and got some stuff down there in the bottom. My brother has some kind of some gear stashed up top. Now, like I said, the majority of it is going to be out here in the vestibules, but you can put a little bit of it inside with you. It's got plenty of tie-outs, but I wish they would have made one more, and that's right here. Because on the inside you can see how the rainfly really floats from the inside of the tent, and that's a good thing for moisture. So you don't transfer that moisture from the rainfly inside the tent. But down here in the bottom, now this is where your feet are, and you can see how the fly rests right along, and so you get a lot of moisture transfer inside. And you can kind of see where I've been doing it. You can see those little wrinkles in the fly. You just go ahead and put a rock in there, and you can rig it up to where you pull it out like this, and it works just fine. So that's easily remedied. But you got the tie outs here. What's kind of nice at night is these are reflective, so you can kind of see them. You're not tripping over your guy lines at night. Another one on that other side. There's kind of to help the air transfer from the outside. Now this is meant for a 3-season tent, right? So this isn't meant for 4 seasons. But one of the drawbacks to this, and even in 3 seasons I've been hit by snow many a time, but you've got this flat spot on the roof right here, and a lot of that snow will accumulate on this flat top. But you know, all you got to do is underside, just smack it and it falls off, so it's not too bad. But I think that is a little bit of a drawback. This is to help the air transfer in the front of the tent or back, I don't know what you want to call it. This is where your head's going to sit, and I just don't think that's a really big window. They could have made it a little bigger, and with the way this sets up, there's just not a lot of room. You know, it's not too bad, but I'd like it a little better. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could raise this guy line up some and get a little better transfer, but you're going to have to string it up to a tree or something, and typically I don't worry about it. I haven't found it to be that big a deal though in the tent, so it's not that bad. The way the fly hooks to the tent with these little clips down here, and I love that. I just love the fast attachment. I think that's a wonderful, great idea. You know, overall, I've been really happy with the tent. I can't remember how much I paid for it. I'll annotate that, and I'll maybe try to look at some sites and get some current prices for it, but it's a good tent. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you is it has the bathtub bottom construction, meaning the bottom of the tent comes up and starts coming up the side before it turns into the netting. But like I was saying, I really like the tent, been happy with it so far. Some drawbacks to it, but overall I've been pleased with it.